All right, welcome back to my channel. Chapter 1 question review. Let's get started. A two-story building that has 2,000 square feet of floor space per story is being demolished and will generate 40 pounds of debris per square foot of floor space. How many tons of debris will this project generate? Exclude the roof. Remember, it burnt off. All right, so your first floor has 2,000 square feet of floor space. Your second floor has 2,000 feet of floor space. So total floor space is 4,000 square feet. So we're going to multiply that 4,000 square feet by 40 pounds because it says per square foot is 40 pounds of debris. So 4,000 multiplied by 40 gives us 160,000 pounds total debris. So now we're going to convert that to tons. 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. So 160,000 divided by 2,000 equals 80 tons. If your answer was C, 80 tons, you were correct. Thank you. All right, team, welcome back. This is chapter 2, grading. So on chapter 1, we did topographic survey. We learned our site. We staked out our site. We took our construction plans and put stakes in the field to let us know where everything was going to go. And then we did our calculate our cut and fill. So we took potholed areas and leveled them. We took high hill areas and leveled them. So everything was even. All right, so chapter 2 is grading. Intro to grading. The process of shaping the site by leveling the ground and or creating specific slopes to provide proper drainage to direct stormwater. So when we did our cut and fill, that's a part of grading. So our cut, we're going to cut down a hill to our desired grade. And then when you have fill, we got to fill in that area, the depression, that little pothole to level it out with the rest of the area. So previously on the previous slide, I showed you guys it was a stakes with the stake slide. We had a cut and fill, that transition lot. So where one area is high, one area is low, pretty much we're going to take that high portion and push it over into the low portion and compact it. All right. All right, team, continuing intro to grading. Number 4 will be site clearing and demolition. So we have to remove all vegetation, roots, trash, other debris prior to our actual grading process. All right. The number 5 will be mass excavation. These is large earth movers like graders. They're called scrapers. They pretty much can move dirt, massive, large amounts of dirt. All right. So the number 6 in grading, it'd be the over excavation. After everything's leveled out, excavator will come out and it has to dig for your home foundations or utilities, things of that nature. So after we done flattened everything out, we have to come back with another excavator, get your foundations ready for your houses, your footings, and get utilities prepped. All right. All right, chapter 2, grading. So now we're in finish grading. Finish grading will add or remove 2 to 3 inches of dirt from a lot to get a final elevation for precise grading. We want everything level in our neighborhood. We don't want one house shorter than the other. So we have to have it a precise grade. This is when we do our finish grading. So our rough pools occur after we import the foundation and trench for the utilities. Okay. It's a lot of dirt generated after we do our footings and our footings, our foundation, and our utilities. So then we have a fine grade prep for flat work. This occurs after the house is completely built. Graders will grade for the driveway, the porch, the walkways, and the city sidewalks. So then after that happens, we got number 3, fine grade after flat work. Here, the fine grader will grade for landscaping and swales. So landscaping comes in after the house is done. That's when they plant the grass, put the sod out, and then swells. Remember this term. Swells would be like depressions or little landscape hills that they make to help drain water. So the best thing, we want to keep water off your foundation. We don't want your house to sit in wet soil because that deteriorates the foundation, the concrete. So we want to drain it away from your house. So we have your final rake. This is when your grader touches removes rocks larger than 1 inch before the city signs off on it. So after the final rake happens, there shouldn't be no rocks bigger than 1 inch out there, or the city won't sign off on it. Okay. All right. Chapter 2, grading. So we got our stuff graded. Now we have to figure out what kind of soil we have, so we can know what type of structures we need to build on it and what measures we need to do before trenching. So there are 5 types of soil. First one is sand. This type of soil does not retain water and lets water drain out quickly, which is great for building and compacting. Soil and gravel offers even more stability and are great to build a foundation on. So if you think of the tallest building in the world, I think it's like the Burj Khalifa or something in Dubai, a giant building. It's built in sand. Sand holds the weight of this giant building perfectly. Okay. So your next soil, we have clay. Clay is not ideal to use. Well, to build a foundation on clay is not ideal because how it retains moisture and how it dries unevenly. It expands and contracts depending on the seasons. So, in the summertime, it shrivels up, clay dries out. During the wintertime, it gets wet, it swells. So clay, it'll mess up your foundation because it swells unevenly. You understand? If you got your house, you built this building on it, it's on some clay soil, it rains, half of the soil lifts up, the other half doesn't, your foundation is going to crack in half, which is it's gonna just be a upward effect from there. That's when you get cracks on your ceiling. Oh no, we'll go into that. So then you have loam. This is one of the best types of soil to construction for construction. It is perfect for combination of sand, silt, and clay. And this enables the foundation to be strong. Loam does not shrink, expand, or shift when it encounters water. See, anything encounters water, however it reacts, because it rains. It's how your foundation is going to react, which is going to affect your building. Okay. All right, continuing soils. We got 2 more types of soil. So you have peat soil. This soil is found in areas of wetlands. So I know we're from California. You going down, say you going down the bay from Sacramento, you pass Fairfield, and right before you going through Vallejo, you turn by Six Flags and the crest, and you go that way, going towards the Golden Gate, and you have to pass through that little marshy wetlands. There's nothing out there. That type of soil is like compost soil. It has life in it. It's just you can't build on it because it's not stable at all. Okay. So then your next type of soil is rocky soil or actual solid rock. I know we always say, how could you build your house on the side of a mountain? Oh, that's rock. It ain't gonna move. So your house ain't gonna move. It's the best thing to build your house on is a rock. Or up in El Dorado Hills with the rocky soil. So it's a mountain up there. All right. So sand, loam, soils are excellent for building foundations due to their water management and stability. Clay soil is not ideal due to its expansive and high water retention. The type of soil greatly affects the stability of your construction project. All right, chapter 2, corrosive soils. All right, so we have to put our foundation in soil. We have to put our utilities in soil. So, what is corrosive soil? Soil becomes corrosive when there are significant amounts of soluble salt solutions found within the soil. Two things to watch out for in soil: Ci, which is chloride. This affects buried metals. It causes the metal to rust, corrode at an accelerated rate. So any metals, piping, water pipes, anything you put in any piping that you've put for utilities, even rebar that you put in the ground, there's chloride within that soil. It's going to corrode it a lot faster, making it brittle and weaken it. All right, your next one is sulfate. That's SO 4 2 negative. So that's sulfate. This affects your concrete. It causes it to deteriorate fast. And when your foundation starts to deteriorate, it affects your house. Your house starts to crumble. It can't hold up the weight of your roof. We'll get to that. We'll get to that later also. But other corrosive factors: the amount of moisture in your soil, the salt solutions within your soil, the oxygen within your soil, the electricity assistance, resistance of the soil. My bad. This light is bright. My kid said, my son said, Daddy, your eyes was closed. My daughter said, I told you needed to go to sleep. So I was like, maybe it was the light. Let me put a better light. So I got a better light. Now it's blinding me. And the pH level, your acidity of your soil can affect what you bury also. All right. All right. Chapter 2, grading, soil compaction. So before we could build anything, we got to compact this soil. We want this soil to where it's so compacted that whatever we build on it is not going to settle, drop, move at all. So soil compaction is a process that uses force and manipulation to increase the density of soil. There are two main types of compaction methods: static force and dynamic force. All right. So static force uses the machine to apply a downward force to the soil. Okay. So this could be these type of machines. We got it's called a sheep's foot. It's a giant. Now you've seen it out there. It has a giant roller on the front with knots on it, and it's just rolling, folding, and compacting the soil. It's kneading the soil. Okay, they call it kneading. So like when you knead dough for if you're making a pizza, you gotta massage it. That's what this machine, this compactor does it. So the dead weight of the machine is heavy, plus these notches on this giant wheel is kneading the soil. Okay, the other way is pressure. You just put weight on it. The pressure of machines rolling over it all day is compacting. Okay. All right, chapter 2, grading, soil compaction. So the other method of compaction is called vibratory force, using movements such as vibrations or falling weights to vibrate. So basically, they got a crane that hoists up a giant weight and drops it, slams it down. And then you have the flat footed roller machines that vibrate. So as it's rolling around all day, it's vibrating plus the weight of the machine. Yeah, you've seen those guys out there. They look like they're just driving in circles out there. They're actually just compacting the soil. The machine is vibrating and they're just driving it around in circles, compacting the soil. So when it comes to compacting soil, it's important to compact the soil in layers, 4 to 6 inch layers. So remember that. That's going to be on your test. Compact the soil in layers. You don't just fill it up with soil and then compact it. You start it off, fill it up a little bit, compact it, more on top, compact it. That's how you get the desired uh, compaction rate that you need. So a nuclear density gauge is an instrument used to measure the density of compacted soil. And a 95% compaction rate is that's what they all that's the requirement. So when you compact soil, it has to be 95. You can't get 100%, but 95% is the recommended compaction rate. Okay, remember that too. All right, that concludes chapter 2. Let's do a test your brain question. All right. What is the total charge for 4 8-hour days use of a D8 bulldozer? If the cost for the rental is $400 per day and the operator cost is $70 per hour. All right. Thank you again. We'll be back next time for chapter 3. You guys have a blessed day.